Does everyone hear that when it says recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was just wondering. I never thought to ask anyone.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the North Beach Town Council meeting for Thursday, September 9th, 2021. We're going to begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. Mickey, can you kick us off with that, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
America.
and to the republic
To the republic.
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Stacy, roll call.
Mayor Benton is out at a conference this evening. Mr. Dotson is also at that conference. Ms. Hagan is out sick this evening. So, Mr. Hummel,
Here,
Ms. Kabler,
here.
Ms. Lawton,
Here.
and Mr. Truncone.
Here.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just to let everyone know, since we have so many council members missing, we do not have a quorum, so we will not be voting on anything this evening. Okay, first item on the agenda, presentation of the Calvert County Library One Maryland One Book. I think we have Carrie Wilson out there somewhere. Just saw her. She may have fallen off the call. I don't see Carrie at the moment.
She should be jumping on because she contacted me about the link.
Yeah, she was just on. I saw her a minute ago.
Okay.
No, I don't see her on the list. So why don't we just go to public safety and we can always come back and chat with her in a few moments.
Okay.
All right, public safety. Deputy, I think I
Yeah, right
can you
here.
hear us. Oh, there we go. Public safety report. Anything to report?
Nope, everything is running smooth.
Okay, anything from council? So I saw we had two vehicles that were misplaced. I thought that was an interesting statement.
Yeah, one of them was the guy at the boardwalk. He parked at the beginning of the boardwalk. He thought he parked at the end of the boardwalk. And after we walked the boardwalk with him, we found it. And same with the other one. They parked it in the wrong spot and didn't realize that they parked it where they did. And we found it for them. So crimes were solved.
Okay.
And we are addressing the parking complaints. We have Corporal Fox drawn up some plans to address the parking complaints. I sat there the other day for about an hour and a half. I got 3, but they had handicap placards laying in their center console or on the dash where I couldn't see them. So I educated them about hanging it from the rearview mirror so everybody could see it, including the citizens, so they know that they're valid and they're allowed to park there. And actually one of them was a town employee with a town t-shirt on. So I educated her as well to make sure she hangs her placard so we can see it.
Okay. Thank you for doing that. Hopefully now with the season ending, things will go a little less crazy with parking.
Yes. Yep. Well, we'll still keep a close eye on it to make sure that we continue to keep it on the wraps.
Great, thank you. Anything else from council? All right, thank you, Deputy.
Thank you.
All right, Public Works, Mr. Bowen.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. How you doing? Paul, I'd like to just give a shout out to the Stormwater Committee because if anybody's been in that meeting, we've really been working hard on a lot of issues. So volunteers have really been stepping up. Dave took over for Lauren as secretary, and so far he's doing a great job. And it's publicly, I'd like to thank them because they're making my life a lot easier. And we got some dedicated members on there. We're really working hard on the grants and everything else, but it's appreciated. A lot of help, and like I said, it's been going well. And the first thing I had on my report, I just want to report to council that the DNR grant that we've been talking about now for several months. Both parties, the town and DNR, has signed the contract. That's back. So we're ready for phase 2. We're currently drafting up the RFP to send out for, engineers and prospective people to look at that RFP and then go ahead and proceed. We'll bring that recommendation once we get all that information in to the council, and then we can proceed with a comprehensive plan for the town. We've got $75,000 that in the grant, and we did the framework as part of phase 1, and the framework kind of outlines what we're doing in the RFP. So really looking forward to that. Dave has already drafted up an RFP. I have to look at it. I was on vacation last week. Lauren's been a real big help in all this. All the members really been chipping in really well. So we got that RFP. We'll get it to Stacy. We'll get it through our legal part, and we'll get that out soon. And then hopefully we'll be putting that out to bid in the very near future here.
Great, thank you. And we clearly are making some progress. I mean, you can see we're flooding less, and then even with the flooding we did have over the last month, it abated pretty quickly with the pumping and stuff. So
yeah, that's one thing I would like to, because we did have two cases where we flooded last month, but in both those cases, we probably only had water on the street for about an hour and a half. So
yeah,
compared to what it used to be days or even 4 or 5 hours, we're down about an hour and a half now. We did set up a temporary pump on the beach to kind of simulate what we're going to expect with the new pumps that we're have designed for Fifth Street upgrade. So we're kind of simulating that now, and that pump's helping a lot. We'll actually have 2 of those instead of 1, so we should hopefully even cut that down even more, 45 minutes or less, and that'll be permanent submerged electric pumps that won't be seen from the beach. So people on the beach won't even see it. So, but yeah, we're making a lot of progress with that group, and it's really good to work with them. Really good group of residents and volunteering, stepping up for the town.
excellent. Council, any
Anybody have
questions?
I'm sorry, that's what I was going to say.
Donnie, when you get into that comprehensive plan, will you be looking at the storm culverts further back into town?
That was my question.
Yeah, we're going to outline the whole, start from Greenwood and work all the way to the front, because we're going to try to emphasize, we feel we need to slow the water down that's coming down to Fifth Street and to the area. Normally, that's where it floods, that's where everybody sees it and everything. But if we can figure out, we've even thrown around some ideas in the committee, out of the box ideas about making storage facilities, what we can do to slow it down, reduce that volume of water that gets there so fast. And we feel that'll be a big help in being able to pump everything and not getting backed up. So we're going to start at Greenwood and look at everything,
Okay.
the whole town, complete town.
Sorry, Mickey.
It's okay. I was just asking because, I know whenever it rains in front of my house, just from the years of changing administration neglect, some of them have filled in with dirt and whatnot, and been half submerged. And then trees love to drop sticks. So I end up cleaning out a couple of the culverts near me where they just clog the drain lines at the street corners. And then once I do that, it starts flowing out easier. So I know in some places we may just need to dig down and reset some of the storm gullies, or look at piping them all away and doing storm drains and gravel or whatnot. But that also ties into parking and more the road work as well. So that's probably a further discussion between you and me in a few spots I was thinking of, and where that falls in capital improvements.
Yeah, that's why we want to get a complete, look at the whole town.
Now,
And the sticks and all, that's our primitive way of slowing the water down, Mickey. Just kidding.
it works until you see the kid go to walk and then he's hip deep.
Right, until it runs in your yard, right?
Yeah. Well, and honestly, that's why I was clearing out in front of my house, is because it all slopes back towards my garage shed. And it was why do I have a foot of water back there? And then I look up front, it's oh, that's why.
The mayor's made it real clear and emphasized several times, he wants to take a look at the complete town and not, because you can see it at Fifth Street, you can see it down there, but we got to look at from back to front, the whole complete town.
It's a comprehensive plan. And we're going to be looking at, that plan is going to include recommendations that go from Cadillac to Kia, from doing everything across the whole town, and not just Fifth Street, but 7th Street, 9th Street, up the hill, down the hill, all to things are less than that. So that's,
We're looking-
that's the focus of the plan, Mickey, is have it be as broad in scope as possible. Put all the options on the table for how we can minimize the effects of flooding. And then as time goes on, do as much as we can year by year.
I think we're really looking for a firm that comes in with some out of the box ideas for, because the town is built up, we are pretty much, we don't have any open space like a lot of towns, you see they go there and they put big ponds and big treatment system, but we're kind of, built up. We don't have that space. So we're looking out of the box ideas for some companies come in and make some rain gardens, but on a large scale, maybe even underground, some different type innovative ideas. So that's what we'll be looking for.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Donnie.
Thanks, Donnie.
Yep.
So we just heard from Carrie Wilson from the library. Her internet has failed, so she will not be joining us tonight. She'll have to be rescheduled for next month. Next, code enforcement. Doesn't look like we have Rick on the call this evening, but you have his report available in board docs. So we'll move on to marketing with Dawn.
Hi, guys.
Good
Hey,
evening.
Dawn.
Let's see. I'll just mention the 9/11 Remembrance this Saturday. So we all know it's been 20 years since that September 11th, 2001. We are teaming, I guess, with Chesapeake Beach to fly our flags. We'll have Bay Avenue with flags. Donnie and his crew put the flags up today. We'll be putting flags on the memorial benches on the boardwalk. We have, I believe, 8 memorial benches for people that died on 9/11 there. So we'll have flags there. Of course, we'll have a message on the town sign, and Chesapeake Beach is kind of doing the same thing with their flags. Also, Union Church will be ringing their bells 20 times at 8:46 in the morning, 9:03, 9:37, and 10:03. And those were when, the planes crashed. So that will be Saturday. Just wanted to mention that again. Other than that, something else to mention, I don't think Bud's on the call, but we did, the beach is open, the gates are open. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be the days that people can still get tickets to get on the beach, and the Welcome Center will be staffed. Other than that, we're gonna get ready for fall.
All right, any questions for Dawn?
I had actually received a question from a resident today who they rent their house out at Airbnb rental, and they have guests that are, I guess, are renting for the week and were unable to get onto the beach today. What do we do? And I mean, what are their options? Is the beach only open several days a week, or?
The way it's supposed to work is Monday through Thursday, the gates are open and no one, there isn't a staff down there. I mean, Bud will be there, but there's not
Right.
anyone at the window. The gate should have been open maybe because
Okay.
of the weather.
Oh, okay, maybe that was it.
Yeah, so if it's a rainy day or something, then the gates may be shut down, and
Okay,
but I'm not sure of the circumstances. You might want to ask Bud.
okay, well, okay, thanks. I'll talk to him and let them know what it usually is like.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
just.
Yeah, and I was out there yesterday and the gates were open. So like I said, it's probably just because of the weather today.
It's probably the weather, yeah.
It was the weather, because I don't think Bud came to work today because
Okay,
the park wasn't open either. Wetlands Overlook Park gate was not open either. And he does that.
okay.
So Paul, when you were at the beach, were people walking on and using the beach? Like, did
Yeah,
they?
There were people there yesterday, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
well, at least a dozen or two, and that was in there in the evening as well.
because I saw people walking around with coolers and things knocking on the windows. And I figured they were just trying to figure out if they had to pay or not.
I didn't see that.
Okay. All right.
Anything else for Dawn?
Thanks for all your help on stormwater and flood stuff, Dawn.
You're welcome. I know you had me busy this afternoon.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
Okay, thank you, Don.
Yep.
So next up, community conservation with Lisa.
Hi, everybody. Been busy trying to plan the fall and spring schedules now that we can do some more outreach programs. We're very excited. We're going to be having a live Halloween program, Halloween with live owls, in October. We're also looking into working with the Garden Club to have a pumpkin patch for families at Wetlands Overlook Park. And we're going to be having different events every month. And our big event that we'll be having with our green team and environmental committee, tree committee, and everybody is an Earth Day in April. So we're working on getting all those things to Dawn so that she can get them on the calendar and advertise them. But I'm very excited that I have a lot of volunteers that are coming out that want to help me put things on. So that's really exciting. The other thing that's been happening is people have been calling animal control and other places with injured ospreys that fell out of their nest, or injured hawk that's running around Callis Park. And so I've gotten to go out and help rescue these birds and give them to the transport people that take them off to the rehabbers. The osprey fell out of the 9th Street nest and it got to go up to Tri-State, which is in Delaware. Someone volunteered to drive it all the way to Delaware, and it's in a flight cage being rehabilitated. The Cooper's hawk was at Triton's garage running around behind it. And then it gave us a merry chase through Callis Park. And animal control, Caitlin came out and she and I caught it with help of some young people, that young guys on bikes. And it turned out that they had a broken wing that had healed, but it couldn't fly and catch food. So it had to be put to sleep by the veterinarians. But every day there's a different kind of excitement in the town. And I'm glad people feel that they can reach out to me to come out and help. I'm not replacing animal control or anything, but I do know a lot of people that will transport the injured wildlife like the hawks and the owls and take them up to the veterinarians. So been busy. All right.
Okay. Any questions for Lisa?
Oh, I'm going to
All right.
a quiz show tomorrow to learn all about koi vendors and people that put in ponds. So I'm hoping to go to it and learn more about all the different vendors that might be in the area. So in case we want to do any koi cleaning projects or pond projects in the future, we would have some reference lists.
Great. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Next, waterfront. I don't think Bud is on the call, but you have his report available in board docs. And now on to public comment. So the town of North Beach welcomes public comment. Public comments will be taken in the chat box during the Zoom meeting. Please state your name and address prior to your comment. Give it a moment, see if anybody puts any comments in. Okay, I think we're good. We can circle back if anything pops up. On to council reports. We're just flying through the agenda here tonight. I'm going to give Mike a run for his money.
Is it a record?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Okay, let's start with let's go with Mickey.
There's not many people here besides the two reporters and Larry from Chesapeake Beach. Thanks for joining us, Larry. Just wanted to say I really tried with the last movie, Trolls, and then it started raining. So I was sad. Our final movie for the season is coming up. It's September 18th. It's The Cruise. And that's it for me.
Okay. Let's go to Elizabeth.
So I spent this month kind of exploring the possibility of making sure that our gardens around town become a sustainable issue. The last time we went through the certification for Maryland, not this time, but last time, we barely had a garden. And then this time we barely pulled the garden together in the last month or two. to actually be able to put that on the certification documentation. And so the discussion now is like, how do we get out of that? How do we make sure that we have an initiative out there where, you know, we actually have gardens, vegetable gardens, sustainable gardens in the town. We know we have energy around it. We have interest around it. What do we need to do to pull it together? So quite frankly, after the last council meeting, I was quite inspired by what the watershed people have done. So I'm just having a lot of conversations with different people, diverse groups, some people from the house and garden, I'm going to get that wrong, I'm sure. House and garden, and a few. So it's a long term. You know, it's not going to happen overnight, but we have to keep the momentum moving forward so that the next time that we come up with certification, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years. I know the timeline has been skewed a little bit because of COVID, but Lisa, I don't know if you know when the next, but anyway, in 2 or 3 years when it comes up again, we really need to have something more flourishing and not last minute. And there's a lot of conversation has to happen with the stormwater group, you know, all these different people. So we're just going to continue those conversations. Outside of that, just really, really looking forward to fall. Favorite time of the year, beautiful evenings. You know how much I love to walk that dog off of every inch of this town. so it does make it nicer to do. And, you know, thanks for everyone who's here. And I guess I'll see you all in a month or so. Lisa's waving.
We just got the Sustainable Maryland update yesterday. There are 8 items that have to be clarified, nothing major. We're well on our way to getting our recertification. I do need more information from the flood committee, not the floodwater committee, I'm sorry, the stormwater flood committee. So I will send that those questions over to hopefully Lauren or Dave, and they can answer those for me. And then couple simple things. I'm also having a meeting with as Sustainable Maryland applicants. We have a meeting next week on Tuesday to finalize everything. And hopefully by September 20th, they will give the award. They'll be giving us the awards. So it's almost done. So thank you, Elizabeth, for all your help. And our community gardens were approved and we did get the points for it.
All right, great. Lauren.
I just want to follow on to Elizabeth's presentation on the gardens there. So Elizabeth, you know that green infrastructure is a big component or will be a big component of the flood action plan. So lots of opportunity there for you to engage with the flood committee and, you know, so we can kind of work together to figure out what we can do in terms of, you know, maximizing opportunities for rain gardens, et cetera. So I look forward to working with you on that further. As far as, well, I don't want to repeat everything Donnie reported out, but I've been doing a lot of work with Donnie on the RFP and working on the education and outreach plan. Also, I would like to highlight that we have gotten some good press in the last couple of weeks, and Dawn just put 2 really good articles up on the flood committee webpage. One is an article in the Calvert County Times. I like that article because it highlights the fact that flooding is an infrastructure issue. And, you know, if this town is, you know, in order to be situated to get any of the infrastructure dollars that will be floating around soon, if you read the news, you know, that's kind of how we should be characterizing our flood problems. That really is what it is in many regards. You heard Mickey talk about problems with the stormwater culverts in front of his house. I mean, that's infrastructure. So so that's a good article to read. And then there's another article that came out today. It came out from the Maryland Department. It's a Maryland Department of Planning blog. And that article highlights our efforts kind of in the format of a roadmap for other towns that are similar to ours. And so other folks will read that article and they'll get a sense of kind of, you know, how we got where we are today, you know, how we've accomplished what we've accomplished to date, some lessons learned, why we've been successful. You know, one reason that's highlighted is that we have had an incredibly supportive mayor and town council. We engaged with the state. We got some grants. So there's some, that article is interesting for folks, especially other towns, because it will kind of provide them a as I said, kind of a roadmap for maybe if you have to address flooding in your town, you're just starting out, here's some things North Beach did. So it also kind of highlights us as a leader and then shows that we are kind of out in front for a small town. So that's a good article as well. So other than that, I don't think I have much to report. Well, I am planning on signing up for a conference in November. It's the put on by the Maryland Association of Floodplain and Stormwater Managers. I guess it's the 17th one. Some of you, I don't know, Lisa, if you've gone, I think Rick's gone a few times. But there is a lot of, there are going to be a lot of presentations on flood resiliency, flood stormwater management. So plan on signing up for that. It's virtual, unfortunately. They just switched it to virtual, but safe. So that's good.
I will share with Lauren, I'll share with you, I was looking at the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bays workshop on November 1st through 3rd, which has a lot of things for municipalities, and it's virtual, and it's much more affordable since it's virtual. And maybe I don't know if there's something in there that might be helpful to us as well.
Yeah, great. Thank you. That's it.
Okay,
Paul.
thank you, Lauren.
Yeah.
And also welcome to your first full official council meeting.
My first real council meeting. Thank you.
Missing half the council, but we'll forget that part.
Right.
Okay, for me, just a quick update on the IT side. So we're working to do some upgrades in town hall that will permit us to not only meet in person for council meetings, but also project those through Zoom going forward. So hopefully we can get that in place maybe next month, if not probably the month after. So at that point, we'll probably start meeting back in town hall. But of course, that also will depend on the current state of COVID restrictions and things like that. But again, the hope is to be able to meet in person, but continue doing the Zoom broadcast that we're doing now. And with that, I think we can adjourn the meeting. We're not going to vote again because we don't have a quorum. But everyone, have a great night.
Thank you.
Hey, good record.
Bye.
Not even 7:30.
Are they all like this?
Sometimes, not always.
Sometimes.